Hey everybody, I wanted to welcome you to the 7th season of Upward Flag Football and Cheerleading. We are so glad that you chose to have your kids play with us this year. We are grateful for the opportunity we have to deliver a great sports experience to your family. You know, this is our 7th year, but even after 7 years, there are still some glitches, some kinks that need to be worked out here at the beginning of the season. So we appreciate your patience with us as we work through the teams, the rosters, the schedules, so on and so forth. I promise you, when this is all said and done, we're all going to have a great time learning to love the game of football and learning to love the sport of cheerleading this season. So hang in there with us, and we appreciate your patience. Maybe you're wondering, Pastor Jay, why a video? You know, why this video? And that's a fair question. Well, your first orientation, your first practice are coming up on Saturday right here at Christopher Dock. And normally what we would do at the beginning of those orientations, we'd have you sit in the stands. And we would share some important information with you about the season, about the rules for being on the field, and so on and so forth. Rather than do that, we said, you know what? It's going to be hot on Saturday. The bleachers are hot. Let's just do all this in a video, and then you won't have to sit through it on the bleachers in 90-plus degree weather. You can listen to this in the comfort of your home, and hopefully everybody's a little bit happier. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to share some important information with you right now. We need you to pay attention because this stuff is really important. It's going to apply not just to orientation and practice, but through games and everything that happens this year in Upward Flag Football. It's the stuff you need to know, stuff we need you to know. So here we go. Turf rules. Okay, it is a privilege to be able to play in such a beautiful facility as we have here at Christopher Dock. These fields are absolutely fantastic. You are going to enjoy playing on them. Your kids are going to love them. It is a great facility, but we need to take care of it. And so we need your help and we need your cooperation as we try to take care of these fields. And we're going to leave them in at least, that's my golden rule here as far as the facilities are concerned. We want to leave them every week in at least as good a shape, at least as good a condition as we found them. And so here are some of the rules that we need you to observe as we consider how to treat these facilities. If your kids are wearing plastic cleats, there are 2 entrances onto the field. There's one right here, and there's one at the other end of the stadium. There will be rubber mats, okay, rolled out from the off the track or off the field to the field area. We need you, if you're wearing rubber cleats, we need you to use those rubber mats to get on and off the field, okay? Kind of a little thing, but it means a lot, and it will prevent the track from being worn down. So if you're wearing plastic cleats on your shoes, use the rubber mats. Players, cheerleaders, coaches, parents, fans, this might be the most important one of all. There is only one beverage. There is only one item of food that you are allowed to bring onto that field, and it is this. Your water bottle or one of these, okay? Other stuff gets spilled, it gets sticky, it makes a mess, and it just creates a hassle for the school and for us, and we don't want any parts of it. So here are the things you may not bring on the field. You may not bring this. 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 So those are the things. This is what you can bring, H2O, whether in your own container or a plastic bottle like this. And obviously when you're done with this container, if you bring one of these, throw it away. 2 other things you're not allowed to have on the field here. These, nah. And certainly we don't want any of this, okay? Okay. Another thing about safety. We're very concerned about keeping your kids safe as they play and practice. So especially on game days, you're going to see we're playing 4 games on this field at one time. We're going across the field, and so there will be 4 fields marked out on game days. In the middle 2 fields, actually between all the fields, there will be a 5-yard space, and that's all we have in between these fields is 5 yards. We want you to come down and be able to watch the game close up and enjoy it, but we cannot have you in that 5-yard space. So in other words, on the 2 middle fields, we're going to have you either one end of the field or the other end of the field. On the end fields, there's a little more space at the end of on the one sideline. So you can stand there and so on and so forth. But we cannot have you in that 5-yard space that divides these fields in the middle. And that especially goes for lawn chairs and stuff like that. Cannot have lawn chairs in there. it's just an invitation to somebody getting hurt as they, try to make a play and run across the out of bounds marker. So we need you to either watch from the bleachers. It's fun watching from up there, or in the designated areas that we're gonna have for you at the ends of the fields. First of all, last of all, as far as the field is concerned, trash. I mentioned it already, but I'll mention it again. If you brought it with you on Saturday, on game day, on practice night, please take it with you. Please take it with you and leave this field in at least as good a condition, if not better, than what we found it. Okay, that's all it is there we have for turf regulations. Thanks for bearing with us through that. Want to say a word about Picture Day. Picture Day is Saturday, September 10th. Okay, this is a regular practice day, but the schedule's a little different. We allow an hour and a half for practice this day, kind of like what we do for games, except we're allowing half hour there to get your team's picture taken, and an hour for your regular practice. So you're going to have a 90-minute practice. It's very, very important that you are on time that day. It's always important to be on time. Respect your teammates, respect your coaches by being on time for your practices and your games, but it is especially important to be on time and to stay on time for that Picture Day. We're going to have a separate schedule for you for Picture Day, so you'll get that in probably the second or probably the second practice. You'll get that. Another thing about Picture Day, we do not. They will have forms here. We do not hand out forms ahead of time. You are going to receive an email with a link to the website where you can go and order your pictures. We encourage you to do that in advance. Get that taken care of before you get here on Saturday. It'll help things move much, much faster. It's easier for you. Your pictures get delivered directly to you. There's no middleman. So things move a lot more efficiently, and you will get your pictures faster, and things will move a lot better on Picture Day. So we encourage you to pay attention to that link when you get it and fill out your picture order forms ahead of time so that you're not trying to do that and scramble to do that and write your check and so on and so forth on the day of Picture Day, which is Saturday, September 10th. Cheerleaders will go first that day. Both cheer teams will be the first ones in line for pictures, but then we'll give you the schedule, and your team will get their picture taken, and then they'll be free to practice. Some will practice a little bit before their picture, some afterwards, some a little bit of both. So bear with us on that. A thing about Cleat Exchange. Some of you have been asking about plastic cleats. Plastic cleats are fine for the turf. But sneakers grip the turf just as well. So your kids can wear sneakers or plastic cleats. It doesn't matter. If you want your kids to have plastic cleats and you haven't bought them yet, I encourage you to check out our Cleat Exchange table. We will have this set up at orientation on Saturday, but also the first few practices of the season. This is a great idea. It's one of our moms brought to us a couple years ago. And basically, if you have a pair of cleats that your child has outgrown, gently used cleats, we don't want something that's worn out. But if you have something that's still in good shape and your kid has just outgrown it, bring it on Saturday. Bring it to the Cleat Exchange table. You can bring a pair that your child has outgrown. You can take a pair that perhaps fit your child this year. We have some great cleats. I think it's a great way and a cheap way to get your kid your child into a pair of cleats for this season. So if that's something you want to do, I encourage you to check out the Cleat Exchange table, which will be out for the first couple of practices. Just a couple more things, then we're done. Volunteers. This is I saved it for last, but it's really not. It really is probably the most important thing here. But volunteers, the Upward experience depends on you, and it depends on our volunteers. And we already have a lot of great coaches. They are devoting a lot of their time and a lot of their energy to come out here and teach your kids how to play football and build character and everything else. But we need your help too. We are still looking for a number of assistant coaches, okay? If this is something that you think you might want to do, you kind of have an itch to get out there and help out, but you didn't want to say anything in evaluations or in the registration process, that's fine. Say something to your coach on Saturday. Mention it to your coach that you'd be willing to help out. Doesn't commit you to be here for every practice or every game, but the more hands on deck, the easier it is for everybody, and we appreciate if you volunteer to help out as an assistant coach. We still have probably 6 or 8 teams that are looking for an assistant coach. Team parents, scorekeepers, timekeepers. These are critical positions for us. I can't underestimate or understate how important it is for us to have great team parents and timekeepers and scorekeepers who are willing to help out and be on time for those games to help keep time and keep score. It's very simple. It's very easy. We have cheat sheets for you. It does not take a lot of effort. You get a front row seat for the game as timekeeper and scorekeeper. So we appreciate you helping out. The team parent is going to be responsible for two things. They're responsible for the snack schedule for your team. If that's something that your team wants to get involved in and you want to do snacks for the kids after the games, team parent can organize that. They don't have to do it all the time, but they can delegate that and get other moms and dads to sign up to bring snacks. But the other thing that the team parent needs to do is to put together a schedule for your team to supply a timekeeper and a scorekeeper for every home game. Not every game, every home game. Okay, so that's two people. One person to keep the time on the field, the other person to keep the score. We have little plastic scoreboards that we have on each field. We need a volunteer from each home team to do that every week at the games. And again, a lot of times when we are delayed getting started on game day, it's because we're waiting for timekeepers and scorekeepers. So we really need you to A, sign up, B, put it on your calendar, and make sure that you're here on time or even a little bit early on the days that you're designated to keep score or keep time for us. Last but not least, practice schedules. We should have practice schedules for you on Saturday, if not sooner. And then we're just finalizing the game schedules. They look like they're in pretty good shape, but we want another day or two to kind of finalize those and get those ship shape, and we will have game schedules to you as soon after this orientation on Saturday as we possibly can. Hey, thanks for listening. Thanks for helping us keep these fields in beautiful shape. And thank you most of all for volunteering and for all the ways that you are going to help us have a great season of upward flag football and cheerleading. Again, we are very grateful for you, for the commitment that you make to us, and we're looking forward to a great season. So we will see you on Saturday.